Alright, hey. Welcome to Tribulation 515, 2011, day 244. Today is 1/13/12. Here in San Jose, California, it's another gorgeous sunny day. Perfect 66 degrees. You know, the tribulation continues. The world continues to spiral downwards into chaos. The good news, I think, is that there's an other side to the tribulation. You know, like, despite the fact things are going down, eventually they're going to go up. That's something that I'm beginning to understand. I just watched President Obama. He came out and he's requesting some kind of superpowers from the Congress that haven't been granted since, I guess FDR, maybe. He was saying they took away the powers under Reagan, but, like granting the president more power, I don't think that's a good idea. Now, he presented an idea where he said, let's get rid of all the government, mess. And you know what, dude? You're 3 years into your presidency. That stuff should have been done 10 years ago, should have been done 3 years ago, should have been done 2 years ago, should have been done last week, last month. And then he shows these, retarded-looking flow charts. On the one side is like this government chart that's insane, that nobody could figure out. And then on the other side, he shows like a basic PowerPoint slide that, nowadays even a 6-year-old in kindergarten could put together. And says, hey, this is my brilliant idea. Let's make a website where there's like 3 buttons, man. Brilliant. Anyway, I think it's troubling, like, we don't need more power consolidated under one person or one branch. And, whether we need one website or 2 websites or 10 websites, the question is, what do we need? He's going for the ultimate simplification, one website with 3 colored buttons. But it's a sign of the times that we're in. And of course, while Obama's over here in the United States showing us a PowerPoint presentation about a website with 3 colored buttons that's going to save all sorts of money, that, probably, I don't know where that idea is going to go, but, in general, his idea is okay, like we should fix government, but why do we need to give him additional powers to do that? Why don't we just fix the government, But while we're sitting here looking at his dumb PowerPoint slides, all around the world, crap's happening, and especially in the Middle East and whatnot. We got Iran, trying to, set up a blockade and basically engage both the United States and possibly Israel. So, I don't know. To me, it's all politics. Obama's just trying to, pivot and make it sound like he's doing something. But, as we know, 2012 is a big year. I think if you look at the big picture of what's happening in 2012, it's change. Change is here, man. Change, hope and change. And, I've been studying, watching a lot of stuff, and I may talk about this more over in Operation End Times, but even here on the Tribulation channel, I'm going to just touch on this, because sometimes people think this is like the conspiracy or the, just stuff that's out there. But anyway, to me, 2012, there's the end of the Mayan calendar. Well, if you actually understand what's going on there, it's this thing called astrotheology, the zodiac, and the progression of the sun, and the equinoxes, and the 25,000-year cycle, all that's coming into fruition in 2012, and I kind of think there's some reality to that, that things are going to align, and there's two major forces at work, which is electricity and magnetism, and we're shifting. If you look at the zodiac, we're shifting from being in the dark ages, you know, the moon cycles or whatever you want to call it, but we're now going up into an age of enlightenment, you know, where the sun rules, you know, and supposedly there might be, you know, not only earth changes, but changes in humans ourselves, you know, and how we think, act, and feel towards one another and view life in general, you know. But I think all that is in motion, you know. I'm on board with that. So you know, the big date that I think is out there for now, and just so you know, maybe nothing happens on these days, maybe everything happens, but if you look at 2012, like, the big dates really are the progression of the sun, you know, and the equinoxes and the longest and shortest days, you know, which is winter and summer, and they all fall on the 22nd, March 22nd, I think it's June 22nd, September 22nd, and December 22nd, 21st, you know, like right in those windows. And 22 is like a number for change. You know, 11 is 22 is a multiple of 11. You know, the numerology stuff, you know, I don't get like too super deep in it, but I think the science of the progression of our stars and the rotation of our planets and solar systems, that's kind of solid. You know, that we are progressing because the heavens are divided into a zodiac. That's reality, man, as we look into the night skies. You know, and you're looking at the belt of Orion and the star Sirius, which I do believe might be a companion binary star to our sun. You know, that seems like real science, and that's all playing into what's happening in 2012. So, you know, I think there could be miraculous stuff happening. 322, everybody's talking about earthquakes. You know, I watched a video where they said, you know, in the belts of Orion, there's these two stars, Betelgeus or Betelgeuse or whatever the heck it's called, and then Regulus. But they were saying it was either Betelgeuse, I think, could go supernova, which would be a second sun in our sky. You know, and there's other like crazy stuff, because Sirius being a companion star, it's been flashing blue. And then as our orbits kind of synchronize with each other, eventually it changes color to red. And, you know, I may have that backwards. It may be red and then to blue, but, you know, me and my friends, we've been looking in the sky, and Sirius is brighter than ever. Why? Because it's closer than ever. And technically, to me, in the last year or so, Sirius has been flashing red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, almost like a warning light, you know, like an alarm clock. And, you know, here on Earth, the pyramids, Stonehenge, all that stuff is tuned into the Earth, to the heavens, galactic clocks, all, you know, the Sphinx, the Great Pyramid, all of it is pointing to 2012 and the celestial clock. And, you know, when you're looking at Orion up there and some of those star systems, you know, it could be a giant alarm clock that we see, whether it's a supernova or Sirius, you know, changing from blue to red, and that kind of matches up with the Hopi prophecy of the Kochina stars, you know. But, you know, along with it comes Earth changes and maybe even transformational change for us as humans here on Earth, you know. So hold on to your hats, man. 2012, but 322 is right around the corner, man. You know, and that's like that's the spring equinox, you know, when the sun is born. And I think that's in 2012. We're in the transformational changing period, the year where it changes. So for the sun, that's the birth of it, the beginning of it, you know. And eventually, what you have towards the end of the year is the end of. You know, even though the sun goes down on the yearly calendar, I think it kind of represents the end of the dark age that we were in, that we're leaving, you know. You know, like 12/22. And that's why, maybe that's why all the forces are in play this year. A lot of forces are in play. Sinister forces, good versus evil, you know. All sorts of events happening. Anyway, you know what? I'm just going to keep my eye to the ground. Going to keep looking at events. Summer Olympics are coming, which are huge. The elections, you know, percolating and coming to a boil. You know, if you enjoy just watching life, there's a lot to watch. And of course, there's the game of all games. Tomorrow, Saturday, Denver Broncos against the New England Patriots. It's going to be the highest rated game in the history of football. And, you know, it's going to be freezing cold. Might even be a blizzard. Who knows? But anyway, let's hit our tribulation head on. Go Pats! Keep on rocking.